You ever feel like you're constantly fighting yourself? You sit down to work and instead you scroll. You know what you need to do, but still you don't do it. That's not laziness, that's not a lack of willpower. That's your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, discipline and long-term goals, losing the battle. And guess who's winning? The primitive part of your brain, the one that craves effort, distraction and instant dopamine. But don't panic, because if your brain can be trained to sabotage you, it can also be rewired to serve you. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to flip the system, how to retrain your brain to choose focus over escape. But first, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your brain and why your future depends on fixing it now. Most people don't realize this, but there's a silent war happening inside your brain every single day. On one side, there's your prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain that helps you focus, plan, delay gratification, and make smart decisions. It's the part of you that wants to grow, build, succeed. It says things like, let's study, let's go to the gym, let's stay consistent. But on the other side is your limbic system, also known as your emotional brain. This is ancient. It's fast, impulsive, emotional. It doesn't care about long-term goals. It wants pleasure and safety right now. It says, let's just scroll for a second. Let's watch something easier. Let's do it tomorrow. Here's the problem. The limbic system is louder. It's faster. It reacts before you even realize what's happening. It hijacks your focus before your logical brain can step in. You sit down to work and somehow 10 minutes later you're deep into TikTok. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is wired to avoid effort and chase ease. This is not a character flaw, it's a neural habit loop. Every time you give in to distraction, you're feeding the limbic system and starving your prefrontal cortex. And over time, your brain adapts. It starts building stronger connections in the distraction areas of your brain and weaker ones in the focus area. So when you want to focus, it feels harder. Even when you try to be disciplined, you slip back. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain is now optimized for immediate dopamine, not deep focus. But here's the good news. The brain is not fixed. It's plastic. That means you can retrain it. You can build those focus areas stronger again. You can teach your brain that effort is safe, even rewarding. But it starts with awareness. You can't fix a system you don't understand. And now you're starting to see you're not fighting yourself. You're fighting an untrained brain. And just like a weak muscle, it doesn't need punishment. It needs training, repetition, better loops. And that's exactly what we'll dive into next. Let's get something straight. You don't fix distraction by fighting it. You fix it by building a stronger default. Think of your brain like a set of roads. Right now, the distraction road is a 6-lane highway. It's fast, smooth, automatic. But the focus road? It's more like a dirt trail, bumpy, hard to stay on. That's why it feels like you're always falling off track, because your brain literally prefers the easier path. So what do? We start paving the new road, bit by bit, loop by loop. Here's the method I use. And no, it's not about deleting every app or forcing yourself to sit still for hours. It's about building focus momentum. Step 1. The minimum viable focus. Most people set their bar too high. Focus for 3 hours. No distraction all day. That's like trying to bench press 100 kilos without training. So instead, shrink it. Start with 5 minutes of clean focus. No multitasking, no switching tabs. Pick one task, set a timer. Commit fully, just for 5 minutes. Why so short? Because this is not about results yet. It's about rewiring your reward system. You're teaching your brain, hey, effort isn't danger. Effort gives us a win. Once those 5 minutes are done, reward yourself. Stand up, breathe, check your phone, whatever works. That tiny reward is key. You're not just building focus, you're linking it to dopamine. This is how you reverse the loop. Instead of getting dopamine before doing the work, you get it after. And your brain takes note. Focus feels good. Let's do it again. Step 2, the loop stack. Once that becomes easy, stack it. 5 minutes become 10, then 15. But always with clear edges. Start, stop, reward. Because your brain needs closure. Unclear tasks drain energy. But a clean loop? That's energizing. This is where most people mess up. They blur their focus time with random scrolling, checking, switching. That's how your brain gets confused. It never knows what the goal was or if it succeeded. But when you build crisp loops, you feel the win. You trust yourself again. You start showing up because it finally feels doable. Step 3, environment equals shortcut. Let's be honest, willpower is weak. But environment, that's powerful. So if your desk screams YouTube, Instagram, escape, you're already playing with a handicap. Make your environment signal focus. Just one small shift is enough. Close all tabs before starting. Open only the app or page you need. Turn your phone screen down. Sit in a different spot than your scroll zone. These micro changes tell your brain this is a different mode now, and your brain loves modes. It adapts faster than you think, but only if you give it clear signals. Let's pause here. You're not just learning a tip, you're learning how to install a new system, one that works with your brain, not against it. And in the next part, we'll break down how to protect that system so it doesn't fall apart when life gets messy again. Ready? Alright, let's dive into it. This is where we talk about sustainability, because let's face it, anyone can focus once, anyone can feel motivated for a day, but how do you stay consistent when you're tired, distracted or overwhelmed? This is where we shift from systems to stability. What's the hidden enemy? It's internal noise. Here's something most people miss. You don't lose focus because you're weak, you lose it because your mind is too loud. Unfinished tasks, open loops, tiny anxieties you never gave a name to. They all live rent-free in your head, draining clarity. So before you even start working, your mind is already halfway exhausted. Here's how you fix that. Step 1. Close loops before you begin. Take 60 seconds, grab a pen, ask yourself, what's on my mind right now? Write it all down, big or small. This isn't a to-do list, it's a brain sweep. The moment you write something down, your brain releases it. It stops holding it like a thread. And guess what? Less noise equals more focus. Step 2. Use pre-decisions. Focus dies when you have to think while doing. Every "should I start with this?" or "maybe I'll do that later" is a drop of energy wasted. So the night before, set pre-decisions. What will I work on first? How long will I focus? What will be my reward? You remove uncertainty and that protects your loop. Step 3. Create a fallback focus. This one is a game changer. On days when nothing works, when your brain is fried, have one tiny fallback task. For example, if I do nothing else, I'll journal for 3 minutes. If everything's chaos, I'll just read 1 page. I'll sit and breathe for 5 minutes. Why? Because even in failure, you train success. You train the identity of someone who always shows up. No matter how small, no matter how hard. Here's the big takeaway. You don't stay consistent through motivation. You stay consistent through clarity. And clarity doesn't happen by accident. It's something you build into your day. In the final part, I'll show you how to lock all of this in. This is important. And create a system so natural, so repeatable, that it becomes who you are. But here's the thing. Even with clarity, even with a clean system, there's still one last wall that stops most people. And it's not effort. It's not distraction, it's resistance. That invisible force that shows up the second you're about to do something important. It whispers, maybe I'll do it later. I'm not ready yet. I should watch one more video first. That resistance doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is protecting its current identity. Let me explain. Your brain isn't just built for goals. It's built for safety. And safety doesn't mean what's good for you. It means what's familiar. So if procrastination has been your pattern for months or years, your brain sees inaction as safe. That's why the moment you try to break the loop, you feel tension. It's not laziness, it's your nervous system doing its job. But here's the truth. Progress begins the moment you expect resistance and move anyway. Not push harder, not force it, but create a response that's gentle but firm. Enter the micro momentum rule. Here's what I use and it changed everything. When resistance hits, I commit to just 2 minutes. That's it. Too tired to write? Open the document, type 1 sentence anyways. Don't want to read? Just open the book, read 1 paragraph. Don't want to move? Stand up, stretch for 60 seconds. The goal isn't to win, the goal is to begin. Because once you begin, 90% of the time, momentum pulls you forward. Your brain says, oh, this isn't so bad. And just like that, you're in. But why does it work? Because you're building proof. Proof that discomfort doesn't mean danger. Proof that resistance doesn't have to stop you. Every small win, every small start sends a new message to your identity. This is who I am now. I follow through, even if it's small. And that's where true consistency begins. Not from discipline, but from trust. So now you've got the tools. A loop your brain actually enjoys. Systems to protect clarity. Micro momentum to beat resistance. A growing identity that matches your vision. But we're not done. There's still one final shift. And without it, even the best systems fall apart. It's what separates people who start strong from people who stay strong. And we'll close the video with that. Take a breath, because if you made it here, that already puts you in the top 5% of people. Most just scroll past, most don't finish, most never even realized their loops are the reason they feel stuck. But you do now, and that changes everything. You're not just someone who watches videos about growth, you're someone who follows through, and that's rare. So what's next? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to be perfect. Just build one clean loop. Trigger, effort, reward. And repeat it until it feels normal. Because once it feels normal, your brain accepts it as identity. And when your actions match your identity, you don't need motivation anymore. Now, to make this real, I've put together a simple tool for you. It's completely free and it's a PDF. I call it the Action Loop Starter. One page, no distractions, just clarity. It helps you define your first trigger, lock in your effort, and wire your reward. So you're not relying on willpower, you're following a system. It's linked below, you can download it for free. If this video spoke to something deep in you, don't let it fade away. Act on it. Build the loop. Rewire the code. Because you're not broken, you're not behind. You're just one system away from seeing who you really are. So protect your focus, and I'll see you in the next one.